Welcome back to the Hallmark Report. Of course, we're running down this week in Hallmark Channel and Hallmark streaming service, apparently, holiday films. Our Hallmark correspondent, Kinsey Campbell, has once again seen... You watched 4 this week?
Yeah, watch 4.
4, all right. And we're going to run those down, plus the premiere of just one of the TV shows?
Just one of the shows has premiered.
All right, let's start with that, and then we'll get to the movies. But let's check in on what is the show that premiered?
The show that premiered is Mistletoe Murders.
Mistletoe Murders.
Mistletoe Murders, Episode 1, Poison in a Pear Tree, Part 1.
Ooh.
Pretty clever.
Is it
there.
it's all going to be one mystery?
Yes.
Okay. So they're all just going to be poison in a pear tree part. I guess the idea is each season will have its own mystery.
I would assume that.
Okay. Fair enough.
So Mistletoe Murders stars Sarah Drew.
I do know who that is.
Movies. Yeah, she's also known for Everwood and Grey's Anatomy. She was on there for a long time.
Yeah. Is she not on there anymore? I don't keep up with that show, so.
She's not on there anymore, and there's a lot of drama about what happened with her firing.
Oh, wow.
That you can look into, because she's been kind of vocal about how they were kind of not very nice to her when they let her go.
Oh, interesting.
So
I don't follow that.
Yeah,
at
you
all,
can look into that.
Yeah, I will.
If you're curious.
I probably won't. But that's all right.
Now she is on the Hallmark Channel.
Well, all right.
So it stars her and Peter Mooney.
Got me on that one though.
Who's a Canadian actor? I think he was in Rookie Blue.
I remember the show. I never watched
Canadian cop show.
I remember it. With the guy from Everwood.
So he's been. So Mistletoe Murders is Christmas shop owner Emily Lane uses secret skills to investigate a murder when a poisoned cookie links her to the crime. And Detective Sam Wilner navigates the holidays with daughter Violet.
Okay.
And also investigates this crime. I don't know why they don't mention that. Mistletoe Murders, as I think I mentioned last week, is based on a popular Audible.
That's right. You did mention
series.
That, yeah.
Yeah, they've done a couple seasons of it. The 3rd season comes out, I think, this month.
So the Audible series is still running.
The Audible series is still running. And the Audible series has Kobe Smulders as Emily Lane and Raymond A. Black as the detective.
It's a little bit bigger name there with the lead in that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's interesting that they chose to adapt that, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, was it good? What did you think? We won't give a full rating to it till the season's over. It was okay.
It's okay. She's trying to figure out who killed June the vet's fiance, and also who poisoned Gordon the Christmas tree farmer.
Yeah, we all want to know.
People are being poisoned in this small town. She's a Christmas shop owner, but she seems to have some sort of dark past that they've only hinted at.
I'm guessing this mystery is rather cozy.
Yeah, like you're not seeing any blood or anything like that.
Yeah, poisonings are pretty common in the cozy mysteries.
I would say, like, as a fan of like Murder, She Wrote, it's similar to that in terms of tone.
That would probably be the cream of the crop of cozy mysteries as your Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah, and if you've watched any of the other Hallmark mystery series that they've done, it's similar to those.
Candace Cameron used to have one before she obviously stormed out of there.
Yeah, she had Aurora Tea Garden.
Yeah,
I think is it. And I think that's still going. It's just someone else now.
Oh, interesting. And I think she started her own mystery series over on her new thing that is like that, but not that. I think that's the case.
And Jodie Sweetin now has one at Hallmark.
Boy,
she now has a mystery series.
You just trade out one Full House daughter for the other.
Yeah, they just have Stephanie now.
I think we're both on agreement though on being Team Sweetin. So.
Oh yeah, I'm a bigger Jodie Sweetin.
Yeah. Well, she was actually better on Full House, even I think. Regardless of just
funny
not being, she
more
actually,
of a sense of humor.
Yeah, that girl was funny, like as a kid. Yeah. Anyway, welcome back to the Full House podcast. Okay, so off to a decent start.
Yeah, it's it's enjoyable.
Okay.
They're good. I like Sarah Drew.
Yeah, I mean they don't have Kobe Smulders, but they do have somebody of some note at least. It's not just a total note.
Yeah, she's someone that people would know.
I mean, I've heard the name at least, so that says something. All right,
Yeah.
so we'll check back in on that. We'll check in on that weekly, and then there's another show
Mm-hmm.
eventually premiering too, right?
Yes, I think that one premieres later this month.
Okay, well, we'll check in with those, and then
Yeah.
we'll save it till the end of the season before you give a rating on those. But
Yeah.
all right, so let's get to our first movie then.
Yeah, so the first movie was My Sweet Austrian Christmas.
Okay.
This stars Brittany Bristow and Will Kemp. These are both Hallmark regulars.
Will Kemp, I think I know.
It's possible. He's a British actor.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's in Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman.
It's definitely possible.
I think he is Kate Beckinsale's werewolf brother in Van Helsing.
Is he that?
I think he might be.
He might be.
As I look it up now.
Now we have to figure out if he was in.
He plays Velkin.
Wow.
He's Velkin, the werewolf brother in Van Helsing.
I don't think anyone else would have figured that out.
Now he was also on the HBO Doom Patrol show.
Oh wow. Yeah, he's in tons of stuff.
Yeah, he's an actual actor.
Yeah, he does other like major things outside of.
Because there are people who come and go,
Hallmark.
and then there are people who just live at Hallmark.
Yes, there are people who like. I don't know this one from anything else other than Hallmark.
I've never heard of
him.
her.
He's been in other things.
Yeah. So what is this? Obviously, I'm assuming this takes place in Austria.
This does take place in Austria. The synopsis is Charlotte, who moved to Vienna to run her grandparents' chocolate shop, is selected as a finalist for Chocolatier of the Year.
They love the chocolate shops, candy stores, cookies, bakeries. That's big in these.
He's actually done another one about chocolate. He did one with Lacey Chabert that I think he owned a chocolate shop.
I mean, she's like the Hallmark person, right? Isn't she like their big A-lister?
Yeah. We'll see her later in the year. She has one this year.
Yeah, I assume. And she's got one on Netflix as well.
Yes, she does.
Which we're not covering those. These are just Hallmark, but yeah.
It's just Hallmark. This one's interesting. It is directed by Leif Bristow and written by Agnes Bristow.
No relation,
who are the parents of the star Brittany Bristow.
Oh, that's weird.
So this is a Bristow family production.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Keeping it all in the family.
Coming up, and I was like, are these people all related? And yeah, they are.
I mean, it'd be too weird, the Bristows.
And they all work for Hallmark.
I mean, I guess why not, right? Like, get that money.
Yeah. So yeah, this one was actually shot in Vienna at Christmas time.
Okay.
So it's very beautiful. I will gorgeous to look at.
I'm shocked to hear they went on location somewhere. It's not just
out
in Vancouver.
No. It's not Canada. It's not July. It's clearly winter. Wow. And so you get to see all the Christmas decorations.
Somebody knew someone who had a chalet out there, probably. I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Okay.
It's also, I would say, pretty boring.
Is it?
It's pretty boring. They don't have a ton of chemistry with each other.
Oh, that's not good.
And it's pretty dull. It's pretty, but it's.
My question was going to be like,
anywhere.
What defines making one of these more boring than the other? But if the leads have no chemistry, that would certainly.
The leads really don't have a lot of chemistry.
That would make it
just like, oof.
That would make it, tough.
This is tough. There's like the chocolate's delicious. It makes you want to go get like a truffle, but.
Okay. Truffle sales went way up after this thing aired.
Yeah, truffle sales went up, but it was just like, oof, this thing has like no momentum, and these two
that's not
on
good.
Screen together just aren't very interesting.
That is not good.
No. He has a much better one if you want to see one set on. Look, he did one I think a couple years ago that's set in England called Jolly Good Christmas.
That's better, you're saying?
That's much better, and those two have a nice chemistry, and you get to see England at Christmas time.
There you go. So, how many Christmas wreaths does this get out of 5?
I'll give it 2 Christmas wreaths.
2 Christmas wreaths.
It's nice to see, Vienna at Christmas time, but it's pretty boring.
Mostly for setting, you're giving it 2 Christmas
Mostly
wreaths.
For setting, I give it 2.
Okay, all right. Well, moving on then. What's our next movie?
The next movie is A Carol for Two.
Okay.
This stars Jenna Claire Mason and Jordan Litz.
Don't know him.
And they are both Broadway people.
Oh, I may know. I may know the stuff they were in probably, but not.
So she is actually known for playing Glinda on Broadway, and he is the current Fiyero on Broadway.
Oh, so two Wicked people.
Two Wicked people.
Yeah, but neither one in the Wicked movie, of course.
They're not in the Wicked movie.
Yeah.
But if you are in New York, you could see him on stage in Wicked because he's still playing Fiyero.
Okay.
We also have Charlotte D'Ambrose, who is a Broadway actress.
That I do know that name. I would not be able to probably identify her, but I do know the name.
Yeah, she's a famous Broadway actress. This one is, with a big dream of working on Broadway, Violet Wagner moves to New York and gets a job at a legendary diner, Fiore's. After landing a job at the diner's annual Christmas Eve concert, her opportunity isn't at all what she expects.
Okay. I mean, that sounds like classic Hallmark kind of setup.
Yeah, I mean, we got Broadway people singing Christmas songs that are free.
It does help that a lot of the best-known Christmas songs are in the public domain.
Are free. And then they also have an original Christmas song that they sing at the end.
Oh, yeah.
He has written.
They can sell that. See, that's the thing. They can sell downloads of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they do have that. I enjoyed the two of them because, they're Broadway actors.
Yeah, yeah. This is our second one with Broadway actors, right?
Yes.
Or what? I guess there was only one Broadway actor, maybe in one.
Oh, there was one Broadway actor in one of them. Yes.
Yeah, but this one is Broadway actors, and it's about Broadway, though shot in Vancouver, probably.
I looked it up. I think it was like Toronto or something.
Yeah, not New York is the key there.
We're not in New York, no.
Yeah, New York. So many places.
We don't have that kind of money.
So many places look like New York. It's not a particularly identifiable city.
Yeah. I will say there's a character in this. He has a cousin named Brad who is unbearable as a character.
Uh-oh.
He is so obnoxious. He at one point forces an entire Christmas party to go caroling to try and impress her.
Yeah.
He is awful.
Yeah.
I could not stand him.
Side characters in these, I imagine, could lean that way.
Oh, yeah. And he's just like, oh, my God. And you're supposed to think that, she might like him. And you're like, no, she would find him obnoxious. I could not. I'm like, I don't buy this for a second that she would even mildly entertain getting involved with this guy romantically.
So this is all building, you said, to some kind of talent show or pageant or something?
It builds to a Christmassy performance at the diner where people buy tickets and they get to eat a meal and watch them.
And a producer is coming to maybe discover them.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
a producer who I briefly thought could have been Santa. I was like, is he gonna also?
Oh,
be Santa?
that would be pretty wild.
Because he kind of looked like Santa, but no, he was just a Broadway
producer. Okay.
I will say this one has so many lies. There's
so many lies.
She's lying
right. Yeah, subterfuge. Yeah.
She's lying to her father about the show she was going to be in falling apart. Brad is stealing ideas from the main guy about how to woo Violet.
Mm-hmm.
The main guy at one point has a fake girlfriend.
Great.
There's so many lies in this one.
I mean, is this one kind of farcical then? That's what that sounds like.
It's more like Cyrano.
Okay.
Where he's giving him advice on things to say and things to buy her.
Man, that's an original thing to crib the plot from.
Yeah, I was like, oh, we're kind of doing Cyrano.
Yeah, there are certain things we've talked about because I don't think we've yet gotten to an It's a Wonderful Life movie, but that's a given.
We haven't done that, no.
That's a given.
But they usually have one.
Yeah, and then a Groundhog Day / time loop movie is usually big for these two.
Yeah, they haven't gotten there yet, but they.
Well, we were talking about this on the first one. So far, fairly limited on the magic stuff. It seems like.
Yes.
That's interesting.
I think we've got some coming though.
Yeah, Santa's son has got to be. Santa's son has got to be involved in some capacity. I'm
shocked I haven't seen Santa's son.
We're all about Santa's son.
I've usually seen him by this point, or his daughter.
Yeah. The children of Santa are big. So what do you give this? How many Christmas wreaths does this one get?
Give it 3. I was gonna go higher, but the character of Brad is
brings the whole thing down.
It brings it down. It's just ugh, that guy.
Oh man.
So I give it 3. It's fun to see. They have amazing singing voices.
Yeah, that would be the selling point, obviously.
He's like stupid handsome. I mean, his face looks like it was carved. So they have a nice chemistry. It's fun to see him sing. Everyone has a beautiful voice. So
okay.
It ends with them finding love and Broadway careers. So,
that makes sense. Okay.
If you like Christmas songs, I recommend it.
There you go. All right. So what's the next one you watched?
The next one is Our Holiday Story.
Our Holiday Story. Okay.
Yeah. This has 2 Hallmark regulars and Nikki Deloitte and Warren Christie.
Never heard of either one of them.
These 2 pop up a lot in Hallmark. For some reason, the synopsis for this one is like weirdly long. I don't know why.
Okay.
So they said, as Dave and Nell recount their love story to their daughter's boyfriend, Chris, we follow them through one special Christmas where fate routinely brought them together and kept them apart. But as Dave and Nell tried to find one another, they were oblivious to the fact that they were work nemesis paired together to throw a Christmas festival for their town. Meanwhile, in the present, Chris struggles with relationship issues of his own as he attempts to say "I love you" for the first time to his girlfriend, Jo. As our 2 couples and storylines intersect, lessons are taught and learned about communication, honesty, and the capacity for change in ourselves and in others.
Wow, that's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
So this is a 2 timelines thing?
Yes.
Okay.
2 timelines. I think they're about 10 years apart.
Okay. I don't. Yeah. How was this one?
I mean, it was okay. It has some, the classic Hallmark things of she's trying to control the budget for his Christmas festival, so he doesn't like her, but they don't realize who the other one is.
So it's You've Got Mail or Shop Around the Corner.
Yeah, a little bit of that.
Yeah, that's
and
classic
then,
too.
When she figures it out, how do I tell him without him getting mad?
That he's going to put her bookstore out of business? Yeah, it's rough stuff.
Yeah, she's going to put his Christmas festival, I guess, out of business. I don't know.
I'm sorry. This Christmas festival is closed now.
Yeah, I don't know what he does the rest of the year. I can't remember. I don't know if they say.
I'm trying
does it matter?
Yeah, I feel like any Hallmark character, it does not matter what they are doing any other time of the year. These people live for Christmas.
At Christmas.
Yeah, that's
so. There's that storyline, and then there's the daughter's boyfriend who gets to the house before she does because she has travel issues, and he asks the one question you're not supposed to ask, which is how did you meet? And then they end up telling this incredibly long story.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And then the struggles of, can I say I love you? That I will say, the young people, I think that plot was pointless. I did not care at all about them not being able to say I love you to each other.
That feels like, I'll give them this. That feels like them experimenting with format, at least.
They are experimenting with format because you are going back and forth and you're hearing the story.
Yeah.
And
this like two parallel stories. Yeah, I mean that's
it does have, I would say nice representations of like blended families and step parents and stepchildren getting along, and that's nice to see because that's not always the case in these movies.
But it sounds like this one didn't wow you.
It didn't wow me. It's, it's perfectly fine. You weirdly get to hear a guy in modern days say the word "you let me court you."
Yeah, that's a little interesting.
Am I watching Bridgerton? Like, what are we doing? Who's using the word court?
I've gone a courting. Yeah.
And he says it with like so much anger, like, "You let me court you," and it's like, okay, that was weird that you used that word.
Yeah, the Hallmark audience doesn't care. They don't care. No, that's fine.
They're like,
them.
"He did say."
Yeah.
This was a little bit different.
How many wreaths are you giving it?
I'll give it 3.
3 wreaths, all right.
You can check it out. It's, it's an enjoyable time. Is it amazing? No. but it's perfectly entertaining.
Okay. All right. That seems to be about the height of these so far. I don't think we've reached beyond anything other than like, it's about what you expect.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the one that's like, wow. There's usually one.
So I take it then by you saying that right now that this last one is not that.
No.
What is the last one you watched?
The last one is Holiday Mismatch.
Holiday Mismatch, okay.
Holiday Mismatch.
Some sort of horrible misunderstanding has happened.
A little bit.
Okay.
Kind of. Now, this one is big. I think if you were a kid of the 90s.
Okay.
And like me, you watched the TV show Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah, I watched some of it. You were a bigger fan than I was.
Because this stars Caroline Rhea and Beth Broderick.
Yeah, okay, I did hear about this just as like a lot of the 90s nostalgia stuff that I follow is like, oh my God, it's a reunion of the aunts. Yeah.
We've got the Sabrina aunts back together again.
Hilda and Zelda, is that right? Is it Hilda and Zelda? Yeah.
So we've got them.
Yep.
So the synopsis is best known as the aunts on Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Rhea and Broderick portray women who clash at a Christmas committee meeting and find out they've accidentally set up their adult children via a dating app. As their kids fall for each other, the mothers find an unexpected friendship.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So it's you still got to have a little romance in there, but that's more the background to the story of them.
Yes. The two younger people who are falling in love are more in the background.
Interesting. Okay.
They have storylines, but it's more about the two women and their friendship.
They're not. Yeah, but that's interesting because I was going to say this sounds a little bit like the plot of Grumpy Old Men, except for that they like each other.
They don't like each other.
Oh, they don't like each other.
No, so it's about them developing a friendship.
Oh, so this is just the plot of Grumpy Old Men. Then.
No, they hate each other at first.
Yeah.
Because one of them is very like, woo, it's the holidays, and the other one is very like organized and detailed focused. And
I'm gonna take a guess.
They don't get along.
I'm gonna take a guess on this. Caroline Rhea is obsessed with the holidays. Beth Broderick is very detail oriented. Yeah.
You got it.
Well, there was no way it was going the other way.
And then, as it said, they accidentally set up their children via a dating app.
It also sounds a little bit like another Jack Lemmon Walter Matthau pairing in terms of personalities.
Yeah. So there's an app called Merry Matchmakers, which allows you to play matchmaker for someone.
No, that's insane. All right. I'm sorry. This is an insane concept.
Yeah. And they both have put their children on it, even though their children don't seem to want to be on this app.
Yeah, that's insane. I'm
and
sorry. I can't get past this.
Children.
I can't get past it. That's insane. The chaos that would ensue from this.
Yeah. So they do that. Then this plot gets complicated. They do that.
Yeah.
The two of them meet, which I think I mentioned to you, the main guy, who I apologize, I can't remember the actor's name, but if you are a Marvel fan and you played the Guardians of the Galaxy video game, he is the voice of Star-Lord in it.
I am, and I did.
Yeah. So that's who the main guy is, the voice of Star-Lord from the video game.
He was a perfectly fine Star-Lord.
Yeah, so he and the daughter meet, and they decide, well, let's just fake date for the holidays to like go to events together. And then
why add that wrinkle to it?
And then the Sabrina aunts realize who they've set their child up with and go, well, we have to break them up. And then they start going through these schemes, like making this very creepy scrapbook to try and break them up.
Oh boy. Wow, there's a
lot going on.
Wow. This one you didn't love?
No. I mean, it's fun to see the two of them, but like the plot, when you really think about it, is like, I'm like, this is kind of messed up.
Well, it's also
what
just
they're doing, like, and it's so complicated.
None of these are real world, right? This is this idealized Hallmark world, but it's like I do think some of these, when you describe these plots, some of them are, I mean, like most of the other ones you described were at least like baseline things humans would do.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about this is I mean, the existence of this app is crazy. The odds of the two of them, and then that they meet. The thing that gets me is they're pretending to date, but then they're trying to break them up. I mean, like, so this one definitely sounds very farcical.
This one's pretty farcical. It's just, misunderstanding on top of misunderstanding, and then the two aunts realize that they think just the son is pretending to date the daughter, and so then they're like, oh my god, he's awful, because they don't realize the daughter's in on it. Like, there's many things going on.
That's a lot going on for,
There's a very strange scene with the town Santa doesn't want to be Santa, because he's like, what if these kids ask me for gifts and then they don't get them for Christmas, and then I've let them down.
I was not expecting an existential crisis for a Santa actor.
The guy playing Santa, the Santa actor, has a mental breakdown and says, I can't be Santa.
Wow.
Yeah.
That yet another thing in there. Jeez.
Oh yeah.
This thing is jam-packed.
Of course, we have to fit in one of them saying to the other, what are you, a witch?
Oh boy, of course.
Because you had to.
Then they stared at the camera for 5 minutes straight.
They get it in. They get it in like right at the end. Like, whoop.
Yeah, there you go.
And we are doing, it's Hallmark. We're trying to, be inclusive. Yeah. So the main guy's brother is gay and he has a husband.
I do love the inclusivity, and that's great. I applaud it, but I do love the inclusivity of the main character's brother is gay.
Yes. Yeah. And it's like mentioned, and then at the end, when we're there for Christmas Day, we see him with his husband. But like,
that's great.
The husband is not a character.
In all of these movies, have they ever done a same-sex main storyline in these?
Yes.
Oh, they have. Okay.
They have.
That's good.
Yeah. There's what is it? The Christmas House has that.
I like you say that like I would ever have any idea. I didn't even know they did that.
Christmas on Cherry Lane.
Okay.
Has
two things I like about that. Number one, I like they did it, and I also like that neither title involves gay in it.
No. That would be bad.
Our big gay Christmas. No. That's what I see. That's the kind of thing I would expect.
Yes.
So,
and it does seem like something they would do, that they would really want to
and
highlight it.
Those are the kind of decisions that ran Candace Cameron out of the network.
Yes. No. Candace Cameron did not like them adding these storylines to the Hallmark movies, and so she went to the network that does not do those.
A network that almost seems built on that premise alone.
It definitely seems like it's built on, we don't want that here.
You won't be seeing that here, I'll tell you that.
No, don't worry. It won't even be mentioned.
Yeah, perfect.
Like, they wouldn't even do this, where it's like... kind of there, but like...
Yeah.
Just mentioned, and we briefly see it.
Okay. So what are you giving this one? What's the wreath count on this one?
It's probably a 2.
Oh, it's another 2.
It's, it's fun to see them, but the plot is just
it
seems
complicated.
And like, making decisions that are like, come on, no one would make these choices. And also, if you really pull back, you're like, this is messed up what we're doing here, ladies.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, there's your rundown. So the one to watch is the Broadway one?
I would say, Careful 2, you could watch, and Our Holiday Story. Those are
watchable.
Perfectly pleasant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, next week you said you've got 5 for next week.
Next week there's 5.
Oh wow, that's our biggest one yet.
Yeah. So because Unwrapping Christmas, Tina's Miracle.
Okay.
Is on Hallmark Plus.
Unwrapping Christmas : Tina's Miracle.
Tina's Miracle.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know who Tina is.
Is that a sequel? Or is there another Unwrapping Christmas?
There's going to be 3 Unwrapping Christmas.
Oh, all this year.
Yes.
Oh.
This is the first and then there'll be 2 more that follow it.
How are they connected? Are they sequels? Are they shared characters? Or
I don't know that yet.
okay, interesting. We'll follow that.
But they will. There'll be 3 weeks in a row of the unwrapping Christmas movies.
Well, get excited, folks, then for that.
Yeah. So this first one is about
Tina and a miracle.
A gift wrapping shop, which I don't.
And a miracle will occur. So.
And she'll have some sort of miracle.
Okay.
I don't know. And that's on Hallmark Plus.
Right.
Then 5 Gold Rings.
Okay.
Which is a Hallmark Mysteries movie.
Oh, okay.
And then Trivia at St. Nick's.
Okay.
Santa Tell Me, where I believe Santa will be real.
Well, I would think so.
And the last one is 'Tis the Season to Be Irish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Had to happen.
Yeah. And if you are a Merlin fan, the TV show Merlin,
there's so many.
'Tis the Season to Be Irish will star Sir Gawain from Merlin. So.
It's so weird that they credit him as that. And Sir Gawain from Merlin is in it too.
Probably don't. He's definitely been in other things. He was on that NBC show La Brea.
Oh yeah, I watched the pilot.
Yeah, but he's in that. I think it is shot in Ireland. I'm not positive.
Man, they're going international over there on Hallmark this year.
There's a few of them this year that are international, so I think that one is that will be actually shot in Ireland.
I always imagine, just because I know that they don't want to spend money, that like they must know someone in these places or have some sort of tax break or studio access or something.
Yeah, it must be.
Because I can't imagine that they would just foot the bill to send a production over there. Or they
no, that'd be pretty expensive.
Maybe they co-produce with something, so they're using like all local crew or something, saving them money somewhere.
Something has to be saving them money because they're not going to spend. I mean, they don't have that money.
No, Hallmark is, well, they would if they didn't make 47.
Yeah, I have seen a lot of people this year, because sometimes I will read the IMDb comments, reviews of these.
Yeah.
And I will say there's been a lot this year of like, I think they made too many. This year they haven't been that great. I think they may have overdone it.
I will say this is the 3rd week we've been doing this, and so far, like, okay seems to be the best we've gotten from your reviews. So
I think the best was the first one they did.
Yeah, it's not good. And
nothing has topped that yet. So there's been a lot of people like, I think they need to pull back to make these better quality.
That's not just your opinion. That seems to be the consensus of a lot of people.
It seems to be a lot when I go to the reviews of people like, this one was fine, but like, they all seem to just be fine this year. Like, there doesn't seem to be one that they've really knocked out of the park. Oh boy.
Well, we'll keep a watch on it. That's the point of the show. You'll keep reporting in week to week. But yeah, so far, Hallmark needs to pick up their game a little bit.
It's been a rough year at Hallmark.
It's a rough time at Hallmark, man. All right. Well, of course, if you want to check out more from us on the Punch Up Entertainment Network, you can head over to our Patreon page, which is patreon.com/punchup, and that's punchup ENT. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Ring that bell for notifications on all the videos here on YouTube. But I think that'll wrap things up this week. We'll check back in next week.